Welcome to Humble Brag's New York edition. Woohoo! We're in New York. It's our first podcast recording, and we are so excited to have Al, the founder of Dame Products.
I'm the first.
Welcome.
You're the first in New
You're
York ever.
You're the first New Yorker.
Wow.
This is a big moment for us.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So
It is.
thank you for being our first.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'll be gentle.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
So, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself personally and when you started Dame and how and why?
Yeah. Well, hi, I'm Al. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Dame. It's a sexual wellness brand. We make tools to help you enjoy pleasure. That's mostly
love that.
vibrators. Lots of
Love
other
that.
stuff too.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 12 years.
Wow.
And before that, I got my master's in clinical psychology from Columbia University. I wanted to be a therapist. And I guess before that, you know, there's just so many moments in my youth that I think I can point to that kind of pushed me down this path.
Yeah, right.
But I was a very spunky, curious little girl,
Big thinker.
big thinker.
Yeah.
And I was also like, you're telling me I could either be like a Madonna or a whore? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just really curious about pleasure. And I think pleasure and sexuality was the first place I really experienced, you know, a double standard.
Yeah.
I got really indignant. There's lots of moments. I feel like I tell the story all the time. When I was in first grade, when I was 6, my parents let me stay with my cool aunt in the city. And she left a jacket somewhere. We had to go pick it up. And it turns out it was like her friend who had something to do with Sex in the City, and she was throwing a party. I didn't know anybody, you know,
God.
but there were drag queens at this party, and I was like, and my aunt tells a story like I saw the party and was like, I'm going in, like, you know, and I learned a lot about femininity and sexuality and how to strut my stuff, and it was just like, also you could be a boy and dress like a girl, and I went back to show and tell and explained all of this to my first grade class.
Oh, no.
And it was the first time I also like kind of got in trouble,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
and no one was really able to explain though like why that was bad, what I was doing that was wrong, and I think I could even sense that they weren't even sure why they were calling my parents, but everybody was like not sure what to do with this information, and it was deemed inappropriate.
Yeah.
And I think it just made me want to open that door and press that button, like, you know, all the time.
From grade 1. That's
From
amazing.
grade 1, yeah.
Super cool. And then obviously you then went into psychology, and I can kind of see why. If you already had that mind, like going into that field, it makes sense. Did you always have a sort of business mindset as well?
Yes, I think so. My family's fairly entrepreneurial. You know, I think in some ways becoming an entrepreneur can be really scary for a lot of families.
For
Like, you
sure.
know, they're like, oh, you're not going to have a job.
Not a lawyer or a doctor? What?
Yeah. For my family, they were thrilled. They were like, oh, she's not just going to be a sex therapist. Like, oh, she'll start a business with it. That makes a lot more sense. I think like I wasn't like a drug dealer, which I think is the most entrepreneurial thing you can do in high school. I didn't do that, but I was treasurer of the student body.
Nice.
And we did have some of the best merch ever and make the most money while I was treasurer. So
Love that.
Yeah.
So did you do psychology with the intention of being a sex therapist?
Yes.
Okay.
So
you were always interested in this space.
I
You
was
always
always
wanted to liberate and be, you know, really go on that path of free sexual wellness.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting in psychology. Forever, we've known that sex is important.
Yeah.
Sex is something that matters when it comes to our well-being and our health, and that is so apparent there. You talk about it, Freud talks about it, like, yet outside of that, like, especially even in the medical field, sexuality is like
Taboo.
It's taboo, and we don't consider it a part of health or well-being, unless you know there's something really wrong and you're a man.
Yeah. 100%.
And what made you, was it then a very clear pathway in terms of starting Dame? Because you went, okay, psychology, sex therapy, see a gap in the market, Let's Start Dame.
So
What was that?
Yeah, I got my master's, and in America, I was on the path to get my PhD.
Wow. Okay.
And then after I got my master's, I was like a little academia'd out.
Yeah.
I started seeing my friends making money.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to take a break, try something else out. I ended up working in consumer goods.
Okay.
And I really loved it. I sold all natural baby shampoo. And during my interview, you know, it's so wild to think about it, but during my interview for that job, she was like, what do you think you would want to do one day? And I said, maybe start a sex toy company.
Wow.
Like, I think it was somewhere always there in the back of my mind. And while I was at that company, I had a little book of ideas. And a lot of my ideas were centered on dating or in sexual well-being in some way. And I have so many ideas. I mean, I think if we think about it, like our interpersonal relationships, our domestic partnerships are so important when it comes to overall happiness and well-being.
Yeah.
And there's very little investment in it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's so much more innovation to be done there.
Yeah.
I was just about to say the lack of, well, I think we're progressing, right? But 12 years ago, the lack of innovation in this space was so glaringly obvious. So
And it was so taboo.
Yeah. I mean, 12 years ago, we were the first female started brand.
Wow.
wow.
That's amazing.
What?
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I even realized it at the time. There were other brands that had a female co-founder.
Yeah, okay.
There was this one brand that that WeVibe purchased that then Love Honey purchased them. So that they didn't make vibrators, but they did make really beautiful sculptural objects they were owned by women. So I always get really really specific.
Yeah.
But really we were the first, it was myself and my co-founder. She went to MIT for mechanical engineering, so we were kind of like sex therapist, engineer. We launched on Indiegogo, which is like a Kickstarter crowdfunding site.
Yeah.
We raised $575,000 in 45 days on our product called Eva, which is a really unique and innovative product.
Yeah.
And we were really we got so much press attention because we were two young women with I guess MIT isn't Ivy League, but she was way smarter than me. So it's Ivy League. We were two well-educated women doing something kind of taboo and putting our faces to it, and that was really
yeah right. Did you guys meet at school?
No, we met. We met going to New York City tech startup stuff.
Oh, cool.
So doing founder things.
Yeah.
And she was going to them a month after me. She kept on going to whichever one I went, and she said 2 or 3 people were like, "Oh, I met your co-founder," because she also was trying to start. She also wanted to do sex toys.
So they were calling you co-founders before you were co-founders. Wow.
What?
Isn't
that
so
amazing?
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that I think we're really big on the energy you put out is what you attract.
Yeah.
That is a classic case of
And
two
signs
people,
from the universe.
Yeah. That were just in the
Yeah.
right place and happened it was meant to be. You were meant to meet.
We were meant to.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
cool.
you mentioned Eva is that the product you launched with? What was that?
It's a hands-free vibrator that you can wear during penetrative P in the V sex. So it's got it looks like a little bug, and it's got these 2 bendable wings that keep a motor in place, and it pushes out on the labia.
Cool.
So it just stays in place, provides clitoral stimulation without blocking the vaginal opening.
I've not heard of
No.
something like that. And 12 years ago as well, that would have
Yeah.
been crazy innovative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How about the research that you put into product development?
Yeah.
And I'm going to assume that's where your co-founder comes into it as the engineer, because I think for a long time there was a lack of product innovation, particularly in the sexual wellness space. And it sounds like that's what you started with, or that's what you've led with.
Yeah.
How do you keep on iterating and thinking about being product led in that sense?
I think, there's a few things. I think there's so many ways to innovate.
Yeah.
And not every product needs to completely break the mold.
Yeah.
So, usually we'll start by it always starts with our customers. We have a community called Dame Labs, and you can sign up for it on our website, and we send out some surveys, and we also send out prototypes Though I will say there's like a lot of people on the list and we don't make that many
Yeah.
prototypes.
Yeah.
So I always like, but we'll send out surveys and have conversation to kind of see what do we want to innovate on next. Well, sometimes that's just market research too. Like, where's the white space? What haven't we done? And then we'll like kind of land on a category, and then we'll again kind of talk to our customers again. Like, okay, does anybody own a mini wand? What do you love about it? What do you hate about it? What's really important? And then we'll just ideate and come up with a ton of stuff. And if we can, we like to make things as quickly as possible. So I remember for Finn, which is our finger vibrator, we made like the ugliest prototypes ever. Like we just made like, it was like a glove. They were like all these different things and then we'd have people come to the office and like play around with them. And
love it.
Yeah, we had
so
3D
cool.
printers. I will say we do things sometimes we do things a little differently now. We definitely rely on our manufacturers to prototype for us.
Yep. 3D printers in the office though sounds
Pretty cool.
fun, a bit dangerous.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's still there mostly because it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like
That's the,
yeah.
Yes.
That's a headline.
Yes.
We had the founder of Girls Get Off on our podcast, and she was talking as well about how the customer and the community really leads the product innovation. I would assume, I mean, it's such a safe place for your customers to come and explore and chat, and
It's amazing.
yeah, it would be. Has that changed over 12 years? Like when you first launched, were people as willing to sort of get together and share in the community? And have you seen that evolve over the 12 years?
I don't know, maybe because we found our people. Like, people love to talk about sex.
Yeah.
Always. Like, so I think, I mean, it's continued to evolve. I think what's been probably more evolving is like where or how are we communicating with them. Facebook, we had a really strong Facebook group for a while. We don't really use Facebook group anymore.
Yeah.
And like really trying to find like digital platform home has kind of been challenging. To really get that two-way conversation, because that was really great.
Yeah.
Because mostly that's been like in-person stuff now.
Yeah.
Have you found a digital channel for it yet?
Not really.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really
It's
hard
been
to
like-
find. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to ask people to keep on downloading. Like, I'm not.
Exactly.
Who
Exactly.
needs another Slack group? Not me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's we've had so many founders on the potty, which we've found out is a new word in New York. But community is a really big part of brand growth.
Yeah.
And that two-way communication through digital channels is something that's so important, so integral, but also really challenging because you do want to create that safe space. So it's on the topic of brand growth and channels, 12 years, long time to be in business. How have you managed your growth? What have you found that's worked? What are you thinking about for future growth? Because I think that's an important part of what a lot of our listeners want to understand and learn about.
I just want to say I'm 12 years in and it's still so hard.
Yeah.
It's like, it's still so hard. And I definitely find myself being like, when does it just get easier?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess my biggest piece of advice there is, oh, you guys are going to love this. I feel like listen to your body.
Yeah.
If things feel good or they don't feel good.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can just kind of get a sense. I mean, like we should check our guts with data for sure, but I think that's really important. The brand has felt the best when we've been profitable.
Yeah.
Or when we have, I guess, just raised money, but when we were growing, like we've gone through it as a brand. I bootstrapped the business-ish for about the first 6 years. And that was hard and challenging, and inventory and cash were definitely a major constraint for us in our ability to grow. We raised capital, we grew a lot.
Yeah.
But we also started spending a lot.
Yeah.
And then we had to raise more capital because we were spending so much. And after that, I was like, I don't want to keep on spending this much. So we cut, which was really hard. But then we became a sustainable brand again, and now we're profitable.
Yeah.
But honestly, now we're back to it's inventory, cash flow management.
Yeah. It's never
Yeah.
ending.
Talking about raising capital, because this is also something that we get a lot of questions and have a lot of conversations about, because I hate to say it, but as a female founded and led brand, like a lot of female founders that we speak to struggle.
Yeah.
And it is a different
Why do
conversation.
you hate to say that?
Yeah,
It's
I'm like,
so
let's have the
true.
conversation.
It's
Yeah.
the truth. Women,
Yeah.
I think it's 2% of venture capital dollars go to female founders.
Yep.
Being a woman of color, it's like 0.0. It's like, it's dismal.
It's really shocking and disheartening. And so you've done it. And so I'd love to know what.
But I don't
what
want to
did you learn?
celebrate it too. Like, I think, you know, I'm so much more proud of the fact that we bootstrapped it for 6 years.
Yeah. Yep.
And if I can go back in time, I don't know. It's, you know, I want to, it's like I have so many, like, it's a lot easier to raise capital when you're raising the right amount for your growth stage.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is, like, usually you want to be selling, you know, somewhere between 15 and 20% of your business.
Yeah.
But you might not need that capital. Like,
Yeah.
for us, like, we ended up just spending all this money and maybe not the smartest way, because we got so much money in and we wanted to grow and meet our investors' needs. You know, I think knowing what you need, and, you know, I almost wish I could have done all these small rounds of getting like $1 million at a time or something. And that, I think that would have helped us collectively be really intentional with that capital. I don't know. And consumer goods is both this really interesting market where you really need the capital.
Yeah.
Inventory is cash intensive.
Yeah.
Of course, eventually you can hopefully get inventory financing, and that will, but it's really hard to get that. It can be really expensive. And on the flip side of that, like, you really need the capital. You don't have the growth trajectory and the margins that like a SaaS-based business is going to have, or a tech business.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think finding funds that are consumer good focused and making sure that you are pricing your rounds in a way that makes sense for that market.
Okay. So that's your like top tips. If you're a female founder looking for investment, it's be really specific and intentional with how you go about raising capital.
Yeah, be intentional. I always find myself pushing people and, like, do you really need it?
Yeah. Okay.
Like, how,
Question.
especially when you're getting started, like, can you get started without it? Like, how much traction can you find?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people feel like they need money when, you know,
Yeah, they might not.
you might not. Maybe
Yeah.
you can do
Bootstrap for 6 years.
Yeah, I went on crowdfunding. I was sold a product before we made it. And then, yeah, be wary of who you get in bed with.
Yes.
Have a good lawyer.
Yeah.
And be, you know, like, there's so many ways for it to work. Like, you can end up not being the CEO and still making a ton of money, and that's great.
Yeah.
But maybe that's not what you ever want. Like, you know what it is that's really important to you, and make sure that you're structuring a deal.
Love it. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
That's really good, solid advice.
We know that advertising is really hard in your industry. And we also read about the Subway ad battle that you had. Can you share a little bit about that and what that sort of, I guess, the roadblocks around advertising, and what was that scenario?
Yeah, so, oh my God, advertising in this industry is incredibly...
Which in itself is crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah.
It is. Like, it's wild how, and I guess my New York City subway experience kind of sums this up. Like, we went to go run ads, they approved the ads, we went and made the ads and bought the inventory, and like, okay, right, like, ready to send them money, and they they ghosted us. And then they got back to us and said that they would not work with us and do not work with any sexually oriented brands. Which I'm always like, brands don't have sexual orientations.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's like a weird language.
Yeah.
But if you lived in New York City at that time, you knew that to be false. Like, erectile dysfunction medications were everywhere.
Literally, yeah.
There
And they
were
still are.
flaccid penises all over the New York City subway system.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, and that just infuriated us. So we went to the press, we got some press attention, and then we realized, unlike Meta, since New York City subway system is a government-owned entity, they actually they have to abide by certain rules, and they have to deploy their policies fairly. Meta doesn't.
Yeah.
Meta can do whatever they want.
Right.
So, to a certain extent, and I actually do think we'd have a pretty strong case to get against them. But with the New York City subway system, we found a lawyer who was really excited about it, and really prestigious in freedom of speech cases, and we sued them, and it was the greatest marketing campaign of all time.
And you won.
We settled.
You settled, yeah.
I think we won. We got to run the ads.
Yeah, that's a win.
That is winning.
Yeah,
It is
congratulations.
winning. I would really like to try and run the ads again and see what happens.
What was on the ads? Was it?
Well, we bent over. I was really, from day one, just trying to get the ads up. I was like, tell me why you don't want them. You don't want the website URL? Fine. Oh, you don't want to show a vibrator on them? We can do that. Like, I was really trying, the ads themselves, the ads that we originally put out there were like, that they approved. Actually, first they denied some. I think some of the ones they denied were like 96% of men get where they're going, but only like 45% don't. Like, we were making like train puns, and they were like, well, don't say anything about the trains. So we're like, okay. So they didn't say anything about the trains. So they didn't like,
The
we don't want
trains
people
were
to
the
think
issue. Who knew?
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, like, but I was really just trying, I often am trying to just get my foot in the door a little bit, and I don't need to fight the full fight. I'm like, if I can just be the first person, and it's not the ad I really want to run, but make those small chips, I'm happy to make the small chips.
Yeah.
And then the ads, they said things like toys for sex, and they showed a vibrator, and it was very of 2019. It was very flat design kind of aesthetic. And then the ads we ended up running were really illustrative, and they had a lot of quotes they were very ethereal about pleasure and well-being and getting in touch with yourself. They were really beautiful.
Nice.
But they didn't actually have vibrators on them.
Yeah.
And you would
Yep.
Yeah, you had to. It's a workaround.
it was a word. But honestly, it was not great. It was only great because we got a lot of press attention around it.
Yeah.
The ads themselves, I don't think would have been that effective.
Yeah.
If you can't, I think one thing that I have found really interesting is I did run ads on Meta for a while. I got a workaround, and Meta approved it until they decided that they didn't approve it. And we would post I would post thank you so much, New York Times or BBC or Wall Street Journal, whoever, whatever article we had, and I would put the article up, and we would boost those posts.
Yeah.
So the ad didn't actually say what we did or what we were selling, and then you would go to the New York Times, and then you would learn about the products we're making, and then go to our site, and we were golden. I was like, I was like, oh, when will this ever be easy? That is when it would have been easy.
Yep.
Relatively, I'm sure I would have found new problems, but it was also 2018, so it was before some of those iOS changes, so it would have continued to change.
Yep.
But it was great, and then they were like, oh, actually, this New York Times article is inappropriate. And you have to understand, too, this was right after they got Trump elected. I was like, you guys have some truth issues. There's nothing, again, just like when I was in first grade, I'm not lying. I'm not saying anything dishonest or harmful. Science suggests heavily that vibrators are good for you.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what the problem is. And you'd be like, oh, I'm like, we can age gate it.
Yeah.
You want to just do it in America?
Yeah.
We can just do it. You guys are king and queen of targeting audience. So
we'll just target a specific
audience.
Yeah.
There was no good. Oh, but anyway, the thing that was really interesting is some people, though, they really didn't love the experience of they didn't really know what they were clicking on.
Oh yeah.
So in order, like, I remember I was like, I'm never going to call them marital aids. I'm never going to call them personal massagers. No, you have to sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not always a great experience for the customer either. So, but
Yeah.
you're left with no choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hats off to you, because I think out of all the e-commerce industries, you have to be the most creative. And I'm
Yes.
sure like that's really hard to do, but
it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
We've done
It's a
some pretty
challenge.
silly things.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
imagine. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
are the craziest things you've done?
I've been
What
thinking
ones, what are you proud of from a creative standpoint?
I
Yeah.
mean, I would say, well, not necessarily from a creative standpoint. I'm really proud of that lawsuit
Yeah.
because it's policy. It's
Yeah.
like law.
Yep.
I think that the reason why I created the brand was to make change in society, and I think that lawsuit is like
Did that.
serious change. Does something. We made these Mitch McConnell dildos to raise money for reproductive health. So that was funny.
Nice.
Yeah, those are silly.
That would have gone a bit
Do you have
viral.
the?
Yeah.
Do you guys sell is it the penis molds?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
those
Yeah.
are fine.
Those are cool. Yeah.
Those are Clone a Willy.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're good people.
Yeah.
I like the team there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we don't do those. But we did that. So we've done some other just kind of some silly unhinged things.
Yeah.
To get press attention.
Yeah.
And
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I can tell obviously that Dame Products it's not just a business selling sex toys. There's a mission for you. There's a purpose.
yeah.
So what does success look like? And when, obviously this is going to be launched globally, but Australia is a big market. And if someone has not heard of Dame, what do you want people to take away from the brand?
I'm just I feel like existing feels really successful.
Mm.
I think it's pretty amazing that I get to do what I do. I don't know, I feel proud of that it exists.
Yeah.
Um,
And for this long too.
And
which
for
is
this
amazing.
long.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a nice. I mean, it's a really binary thing for success, and if Dame were to fail or go bankrupt one day, it still would be a success.
Yeah.
It still got to exist and make these changes and have the impact it's had. I would want people to know that sexual wellness is an important part of their overall well-being, that it's fun and it's worth honoring, and I hope that's what they get from Dame.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that.
We're going to wrap up with some rapid fire questions.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one we have for you is, what is your favorite Dame product?
Palm.
Palm.
Palm is a
Let's
hit.
write that down.
It's,
Okay.
it's squishy. It bends.
Oh.
Okay.
USB-C charger.
Nice.
Love it.
You can travel with it.
You can travel with it,
Nice.
and you can use a lot of vibrators have specific chargers just for that vibrator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
And then you're like, oh,
It's
yeah.
so annoying.
Right.
Yeah.
You can charge our vibrators with their phone charger.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Love that.
Genius.
Going back to innovation, where it's
Yeah.
that's just a small innovation. We were the first people to do it. I'm sure everybody else is going to do it too soon. I hope everybody does it
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I would say that's not that common.
no,
So,
where you
Yeah.
literally,
I really like that.
I just saw another brand launch their first product with it, but
love
we've been the only brand for a little bit over a year now that does it.
You go. Love that. Second question, dream collab.
I'm gonna.
You can say you can have more
say
than one.
two. Yeah.
So many.
Yeah.
There's so many
There's
options.
so many good people. I think
Yeah.
my dream collab would definitely be a community.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
okay.
go with Jane Fonda for now.
Yes.
Nice.
I mean, Jane Fonda and Lily Thompson, who did Grace and Frankie, Frankie
yeah.
and Grace.
Yep.
So I think that would be fun.
My God, I love Jane Fonda.
Yeah.
I love Jane
That's
Fonda.
yeah,
I'd
that
love
would
to
be
do,
epic.
Alana Glazer, but she sometimes does stuff with a different brand. But
yeah.
she should come over
Yeah.
to a
Agreed.
actually women-owned brand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. What's an underrated self-care ritual that you love?
smoking weed.
Oh, nice. We're allowed to say that in this country.
Yeah, it's great.
Screaming.
Oh, yeah. I get that.
I think like finding a place to scream can be really, really great. Oh, dancing.
Oh,
Yeah,
Singing,
dancing.
which I guess is kind of like
Yes.
screaming.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm also currently obsessed with like holotropic breath work and and soma breath work.
yeah.
Are you familiar?
Yeah.
I'm like
do it at our
really.
retreats. We do that
You
on
do it
our
at
retreat,
retreats.
yeah.
I literally just signed up. Not that I have any freaking time, but I was like, I kind of want to do a course. Like I'm that blown away by like that. I'll say like meditation modality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super powerful.
We've been getting into breath work lately, and it definitely is. I try and do it every morning.
Because I've done like ayahuasca and
Yep.
some of those things, and I have found that really powerful. But it takes a lot out of you. It's a really intense drug.
Yeah.
And I have found that with breath work, I can kind of like get to a state of consciousness where I don't know what that is, where I'm like full of myself and like just truly present in with my body, and I can cry about the things that I compartmentalized as a responsible CEO. Because you need to compartmentalize.
Yeah.
But then it's hard to kind of get back in there sometimes, and it really will help me get back in there.
Yeah, totally.
Final one.
Oh, masturbating! Oh my god, I didn't say
Oh,
masturbating.
yeah, of course. I mean, that was a given. That
It
was
is a given.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
That was.
But
a
it
given.
is super underrated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
And I think just like probably everything I said, anything can be harmful, but they can like also. I think anything that's helpful can also probably be harmful if you do too much of it.
Yeah, for sure.
True.
That's a great stress relief.
Final one.
a great
Go
stress
to New York spot to unwind.
To unwind.
Yes.
Spa Palace on Manhattan Avenue in Greenpoint.
Thank you. That's for us. That's because we want to go.
Just like a nice, like there are nice fancy massage places you
Yeah.
can go to.
Yeah.
But like a good foot rub, like a nice.
That's all you need.
Yes. I mean, they're so good, and I know I don't live close to Chinatown, but I know that there's a ton in Chinatown where you can get for like $100 a 2-hour massage.
Wow.
Yes.
That's so good.
Yes. Like, are you going to be in the fanciest room?
No.
No.
Who cares?
But are you going to get a really good massage?
Yeah, and I like it hard too, and they
Yes.
would do it hard there, I reckon.
Yes, I love. And now we also have a lot of bathhouses.
Yeah, we've got them all down.
We've got
to
a
visit.
list going.
Yeah.
You has to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
got a
Yeah.
list going, so we're pretty pumped to
Yeah.
give them a go.
Exactly.
Yes. But I need that. Like, I need like a specific place that's like, you need to stop talking.
Yeah. You need to
just
come
need
to
it.
one. We need to launch our retreats in the States
Oh,
because,
my
it
goodness.
sounds like you guys need that.
Yeah, I'm both like, it's interesting because I think in sexuality, it is all about being present and sensual, but entrepreneurship is kind of the opposite.
Yep.
Yeah,
And trying to find that balance can be really hard.
so
Yep.
hard. Yeah.
Yep. I get that.
You guys, why stay humble?
Stay humble.
Stay humble,
Humble
but brag. Humble
yeah.
brag.
Yeah. But
Exactly.
also, it's like you got to stay a bit grounded.
You gotta
too,
stay grounded.
throughout the
Yes.
process.
I
Yeah.
just feel like I need to get better at bragging, and I
Yes.
feel like women need to get better at
Absolutely.
bragging.
agree.
Hence this platform.
Hence I'm brag.
Yeah.
What's your
Bra-
braggable
what are your
moment?
guys? No, you guys.
What
are
are our braggable moments?
Okay,
Okay, we've got so
All right,
many.
everybody.
Yeah, we'll all think.
Okay.
We'll thinking
All right, we have
music.
to
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, wait, in life or in
I
humble
don't know.
brags?
Or just like
God,
trying to
there's so
brag about something. It really is hard.
It's
like,
so hard. Look, I think you know what? For me, my personal brag moment is just getting started.
Oh,
it was 2 years ago. Went. We're doing this thing. We've got an idea. Let's just launch it and go. And seeing the journey and seeing how we've iterated over time and really thought bigger and differently about bringing community together is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that for me is our brag moment.
Yeah, brag moment. I mean, I don't have a problem with getting started. I'm like, get started too quickly, if anything.
Yes.
But brag moment would be the community that's formed, and also that the retreat.
The
is
retreat's
pretty,
amazing.
I just love that I can get
I wanna
40.
go.
I know.
They're unreal.
40 founders. 3 nights, wellness, it's just there's nothing like it, and I just love that we're able to bring that to founders, and for free as well. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
I guess my humble brag is we're doubling our target store count.
Ooh.
Yay!
That's huge.
cool.
Yeah, that is huge. That's good.
But that also indicates that there's been success.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
people, clearly there's a demand for the product, which in itself is a massive brag, right?
Yeah.
So I love that.
So much to brag about for you and Dame Products. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you for
It's
having me.
inspirational. And as you said, you should be so proud that you are a female woman-owned business, lasted this long in such a hard economy and climate as well. And you're changing people's lives and the way that they feel about themselves and their surroundings. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
and
you
make
guys
sure
so
you keep
much.
bragging.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have your brag moments.
Yeah.
It's-
Scream and shout about them.
And I'm sure, just like gratitude work, if I did it, if I like put it on the calendar to just think about a brag, I'd get better at coming up
Yes,
with them. And I
totally.
was like, you know?
Yeah.
That's your takeaway.
We're-
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank